Let's get down to business. There are Huns to defeat. Let's take a look at our numbers from the regular season. My St. Louis Sound, led by De'Aaron Fox. Anthony Simons is not 100% heading into the playoffs. I obviously had a bench that was pretty spread out, so that's going to affect things. Man, Mitch Robinson only started 7 games. For you guys, Hardy, Horton Tucker really leading the way. Jalen Duren really did well too, almost averaging a double-double this season. So we'll definitely be looking, I'd say, to shorten both of our benches even more. Go full try hard, and we'll see what's up. So for my St. Louis Sound, Golino, good to see you. How are you? It'll be Fox, Simons, Isaac, PJ Tucker. I can't get rid of him. And Yusef Nurkic, Brandon Clark, and Mitch Robinson primarily coming off the bench. I can't get rid of fucking PJ Tucker. And for Chat's Lions, Horton Tucker, Caldwell Pope, Strus, John Collins, and Jalen Duren. Connor, what's going on? How are you? How the heck are you? I hope you've been well. So, yeah. Interesting teams. With that, let's get confirmation of who makes it through the play-in round. As it will be Nolans as the 8 seed, Memphis as the 7, taking on the Lakers. On the other side, New York makes it, as does Detroit. As you get a look there at the teams that were in the play-in round. So, there you go. There you go, there you go. Fair enough. So let's take a look at our opponents then. Orlando and Golden State. Orlando and Golden State. The Magic. Your opposition in round number 1, chat. Old Dennis Schroeder. Jalen Noel. They got a lot of point guards. Anthony Black, of course. Eddie Wolf. Shooting guard, OG. Jalen Suggs. Jet Howard. Forward, Franz Wagner. Caleb Houston. Hosting. Power forward, I mean, it's Paulo Banchero. I mean, have fun with that. Dorian Finney-Smith behind him. And at center, Wendell Carter Jr. and James Wiseman. They got a decent little team. I mean, Paolo's the closest they have to like a superstar level player. He's not quite there yet. They got a pretty decent team, though. My opposition, the Golden State Warriors. Could be the last ride for Steph Curry. Chris Paul behind. It's definitely the last ride. GG's. I've won the series already. Cole Anthony also there. Shooting guard, Moses Moody. Forward, Andrew Wiggins. Gary Payton II. Power forward, Draymond still there. And at center, Kevon Looney. Xavier Tillman Sr. also there. They got some depth, but obviously they have the better player that either of us happen to be facing in the round 1 in the first round, that being one Steph Curry. So, yeah, they'll call Anthony. Oh, no, he's right there. Look at him. Look at him. Anyway, let's get this underway. Shall we, shall we? More playoff action. We kick things off. Lions and Magic. Game number 1. Cincinnati looking for, if I'm not mistaken, we both lost in the first round last year, so it would be either of ours first ever playoff win. 129-110 series win, that is. As Horton Tucker drops 38, Hardy with 27. A double for Mr. Duren. Not bad. Not bad. It was Noel leading them on the other side. So not bad. Mr. Jalen Duren and company. I meant the Magic since he was a very rookie IRL. I guess there was a trade then. Fair enough. Game number 1. Golden State. I got knocked out by Dallas last year. I see Donald Brashear at the ripe age of 51's come back to play. Jesus. Respect his passion for the game, right? As St. Louis nearly comes back to win game 1, Buffalo 113 to 110. Simons 39 points, a double for Fox. Steph drops 44. I hate it here. I hate it here. Game 1 to Golden State. Game 2 for Chat's Lions against Orlando. April 21st, 2025. Jesus. Game 2 to the Magic, 120 to 97. Duran with a double-double, including 21 rebounds. But Banchero on the other side. You had the 18 rebounds from Carter Jr. That is a tied series. Game 2. St. Louis needs a better performance, please. Please, please, please. Not going to get my wish. 112 to 107. Simons drops 31. Fox with 23. Steph, 30 points. It's also very funny to go from the older eras, and now you're seeing multiple players hit double digits in 3 points attempted. It's beautiful. Golden State up 2-0. We go to game number 3 for Chat's Lions. Looking to regain the series lead if they can. It's a close one. Overtime and a win. Oh my God, Duran, holy shit. 121 to 119 in overtime behind 26 points from Horton Tucker. A double-double from John Collins and 25 rebounds from Jalen Duran. You guys might have gotten the top pick in that expansion draft. You honestly might have. That is insanity. And Chero, 31 points on the other side, but it was not enough. 25 rebounds. We go to game number 3. The Sound in a whole lot of trouble here. A whole lot of trouble. We need a win. And we do get it. Another really close game with Golden State. 85 to 82. St. Louis back in the series. 28 points from Fox, 20 from Simons, a double from Nurkic. And Cole Anthony led the way on the other side with 18 points. My Garuba with 20 points. Chris Paul had the 13 assists. Curry fouled out after 22 minutes, and we still barely beat them. Game 4. Magic and Lions. Can the Lions battle back? Can they defend home court and tie this series up? The answer is yes. I do regret not looking at Duran. 120 to 115. Bunny, take it easy, by the way. The Lions have tied this series. 27 points from Hardy, the double from John Collins. On the other side, 21 points for Carter Jr. and old Banchero. I always want to say Banchero, but it's Banchero. With the double-double as well, 17 points, 16 rebounds. I don't try to pretend that I am totally up to date on the basketball side of things. The prior 2 eras, that's where it's at for me. But it's 3-1 for you guys after losing game 2. Not bad at all. St. Louis trying to tie this series up. Can we please? Or are we going to fall to another superstar in their band of merry men? Fuck. 99 to 95. It's close, but we're just not there. Simons 29, Fox 28. Clark with a double-double of his own, but the depth scoring was non-existent. 25 points for Chris Paul, 24 for Steph. 3-1 Golden State. Cincinnati looking to be the first team of ours, either of ours, to advance to round 2, while Cleveland and Boston have both advanced to the second round. So I was reading an article about a hate protest being drowned out by counter-protests. That is a nice thing to read about. How'd that go today, Top Hat? I'm guessing well. And there it is, chat. The Cincinnati Lions are moving on, eliminating the Orlando Magic in 5 games. The first ever playoff series victory for either of our two expansion teams. And it comes in Season 2. Wow. Good stuff. Pancaro did not have... Well, he had a double-double, but only 11 points. It's not great. Your reward is to take on... Fair enough, Top Hat. Your reward is to take on the Cleveland Cavaliers in round 2. But the question is, can I come back to join you? As it will indeed be the second Battle of Ohio. You guys lost to Cleveland in the first round last year. The Golden State Warriors take care of business and eliminate my St. Louis Sound in 5 games. Simons and Fox did what they could, but the core around them just isn't good enough. 6 of 19 for Simons from 3. Jesus Christ. Curry dropped 26, or 39, excuse me. Paul with 26. And Golden State moves on. Fuck. Damn. Congrats to those that bet on Cincinnati there. But, yeah, looking at the numbers, it was a 2-man team. It was a 2-man team. You guys had a 7-man bench, not a 10. Nobody else on my team could step up. PJ Tucker's abysmal. I hate that he even had to be on this team still. I just couldn't move him. Damn. For your Lions, Horton, Tucker, and Hardy getting it done. And averaging 18 rebounds over the course of 5 games. Jalen Duren. That is fucking insane. His rebounding is an A+, with the athleticism, so I get it. He is insane. Wow. Well, let's find out the rest of the second round. It'll be OKC, Houston, LA, and Golden State. Of course, the Lakers without LeBron now. You guys will take on Cleveland yet again. And Atlanta will play Boston. So we have the Battle of Ohio one more time. Cleveland and Cincinnati. Let's take a look at your opponents. The Cleveland Cavaliers, led by MVP Darius Garland, 25 years old. Shooting guard Donovan Mitchell. LeVert is hurt, out 4 to 6 weeks with tendinitis. At forward, Tobias Harris. All right. Isaac Okoro's there as well. Amadou Diallo. They also drafted a dude named Mark Leonard. Power forward, Evan Mobley. Kelly Olynyk behind him. And at center, Jared Allen. I mean, could you win this? Yes. Are you the favorites to win this? Nope. This would be one hell of an upset. Round 2, the Battle of Ohio. It is game number 1. Let's see how this goes. Duren's going to need about 30 rebounds a game. And he has some pretty tough competition in the paint in this series, to say the least. But the Lions do take game 1. 115 to 114 off of 31 points from Horton Tucker. And 13 rebounds from Duren. 37 points for Donovan Mitchell, doubles for Garland, Mobley, and Allen, but it still wasn't enough. Cincinnati takes game 1. And indeed, it does look like Caldwell Pope is out of the lineup, but that means you just have Jaden Hardy as a starter, which is good news for you, really. Go to game number 2. A 1-0 lead for the Lions over the 1-seed Cavaliers. The Cincinnati Lions have a 2-0 series lead on the Cleveland Cavaliers. 110 to 91 in game 2. 24 points from Strus, a double for Daniel Gafford, and a big performance on the road to start the series for the underdog second-year expansion franchise, the Cincinnati Lions. Will the home team losing curse strike, or will it be a 3-0 series lead for Cincinnati. And Cleveland is going to win this game pretty convincingly. Game 3 goes to the Cavaliers, 130 to 103. 21 points from Hardy. Another double for Jalen Duren, but it was not enough. 28 points for Garland on the other side. 4 Cavs with at least 22 points. Jesus. Game 3 goes to Cleveland. As we go to game number 4. The Boston Celtics have swept the Atlanta Hawks and have made their way to the Eastern Conference Final. Game 4 in Cincy. Game 4 in Cincy. They had it, and they win it! The Cincinnati Lions, 112 to 111, are 1 win away from an Eastern Conference Finals showdown with the Boston Celtics. Putting the MVP and the Cleveland Cavaliers on the brink. Game number 5. Wow. Will it happen again? The Cavaliers are going to... That was close for a second. The Cavaliers force game 6, winning 128 to 115. 25 points for John Collins. Duren with another double there at the bottom, but 37 points from Garland, 30 for Mobley, 29 for Donovan Mitchell. The Cavaliers showed up in full force in game 5. There's nothing to change with lineups. We get right to the next one. Game number 6. The second chance for Cincinnati to end this series, or the Cavs will force game 7. Oh, no. 135 to 96. The Cleveland Cavaliers have battled back to force game 7. 36 points from Garland. Domination on the boards from Mobley and Allen. It goes 7 as the Lakers have eliminated Golden State. Was it Paul George and the Brow? Dynamic duo. Game 7 comes down to this. As we know, LA will take on Houston in the Western Conference Finals. Who will join Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals? The Lions or the Cavs? The Battle of Ohio. It's gone down to the wire. It's a 10-point lead with 2 minutes to go. It is likely over, but for shits and giggles, let's find out for sure and see if there's a little bit of magic left for Cincy, or if they have indeed blown a 3-1 lead. We also got to look at your very 90s jerseys that I absolutely adore. And I get to be over here now for playoff game scenarios.
And it's Duren in at the 5, roaming the paint. Up top, Horton Tucker.
Horton Tucker, why the hell would he lay that off? He had the layup. 3 seconds on the clock. Caldwell Pope for 3. Doesn't get it. Full score. I don't know how I feel about it, but obviously it's like they have the ticker as well. Here, you know what? Let me do this really quickly. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't hate it. It's very different. It is very, very different. 1:15 to go. I mean, I imagine there's some pushback to it like NHL had for, oh man. I agree, taking the Cavs to 7 is quite the accomplishment. But blowing a 3-1 lead, as Diallo, Jesus Christ, I thought he was going to break his neck. Look at their fucking practice jerseys. I can't believe how shit those jerseys are. They're so bad. What the fuck? For a league that, like, above all else embraces... Nice 3 from Caldwell Pope. From a league that, above all else, embraces, like, the personality aspects of professional sports. You got players wearing practice jerseys in games, man. That'll do it. The big 3 for Okoro. And this series is over.
Check out the box. There were some great
The 12-point lead with 30 seconds left. Foul called there.
Fantastic job crashing the boards and coming up with seemingly.
Just can't get over how shit their jerseys are. I'm sorry. Oh my god, those have to be like top 5 worst jerseys in North American professional sports. Easily. Easily. They might be top 3. They might be number 1. Feel free to try and name worse jerseys than that. You're going to have a tough time. Have a real tough time. Exactly. They're in the same category as the frickin' Red Wings reverse retro. The Utah Jazz current. I have seen Utah's jerseys. I do want to look those up again really quickly, though. Let's get the proper refresher to make sure I'm thinking of the right ones. I remember when they announced their rebrand.
He's perfect from the line this time.
I'm going to look at these.
3 seconds separate the shot clock in game.
I feel like they're about as bland as these, though, are they not?
Here's Jerome.
Are they not?
Shoots. Misses the baby hook.
Mercy on that shot attempt.
Pass to Hardy.
Basketball jersey database. A lovely place to be. The Cleveland Cavaliers come back from 3-1 down to eliminate Chat Cincinnati Lions.
7-game series and a win here in round 2.
What a memorable series this was.
Okay, this site is nice.
To a game 7, and now no rest for the weary. They've got to get right back to work.
118 to 111. Tough loss for Cincinnati. That close to the Eastern Conference Finals.
From the team tonight, did you think the focus was there collectively?
Most definitely. I think, if we don't focus, we might let this game slip away. But for us, it's continuing to plug away. And we're not at our 100% yet. We're not at our best, but we have a lot more things to improve on. But our focus and attention to details really was getting us through.
Looks like you're building towards something special, man. Thanks. Back to you.
You cannot top the presentation of this game. You can't do it. FIFA's close. FIFA's the only one that gives them a run for their money. It's still insane, the presentation in this fucking game. My God. It really is. That said, the Utah Jazz, right? Obviously have had some good jerseys and color schemes in their history. I mean, the 90s, early 2000s, even these in the early 2010s. And those are the current. I would agree. These are also top 5 at least. God. Yeah, that's fair. Having to name which one's worse between this and Cleveland is tough. I might honestly say these are at least a little bit better. I just feel like there's a little bit more going on, which isn't saying much. But also, just what a fucking downgrade compared to what you had in the 90s. What a downgrade. I mean, again, even these... the freaking that was a little bit before the or a little bit after the Karolenko era, but even like the Andrei Karolenko era, good stuff. And now they have that horseshit. Anyway, guys, with that, the postseason has come to an end. A very, very good season for your Lions. A very tough loss to handle. You had 3 opportunities to close out the Cavaliers and could not do it, but at the same time, you probably never should have found yourselves up 3-1 in the first place. So, but Horton Tucker did what he could. Duran wasn't quite as dominant on the boards because obviously tougher competition there. But it was a pretty good series. It was a very good showing. And I think you guys are way ahead of schedule, having made it to within 1 game of a conference final. That said, who's going to the NBA final in 2025? Lakers and Cavs and the Los Angeles Lakers. Being led by Anthony Davis. These friggin' MVP trophies get me every time. Darius Garland, the Eastern MVP. Lakers and Cavs. Man, Cleveland swept Boston. So congrats, chat. You were better than Boston. But yeah, Cavaliers and Lakers. The LeBron James Bowl. Even though he is retired in this reality now. Let's find out who's going to win it. In 6 games, the Cleveland Cavaliers have won the NBA title. Darius Garland, Finals MVP. The worst jersey to ever get the Bill Russell. God. Oh, man. The Cavaliers go on to win. Chat gave them their best fight along the way. Cleveland knocks off the Knicks, an expansion team that gave them their toughest challenge, then Boston and LA. There you go. 2025 comes to a close. Kyle Lowry, Russell Westbrook, Eric Gordon, Kevin Love, the source of your power, Kevin Love, Derrick Rose. Again, it's so weird because these two in particular were dominating the last era, and now we're at the point that they're retiring. It's just a really weird feeling as you can, continue on and progress through the eras. John Wall, who was great in the 2010 era with Washington. Damn. Not Dwayne Dedman. Oh, the better freak of the Greek variety. Damn. All right. Hall of Fame inductee is Russell Westbrook. He probably will make it despite the lack of hardware, right? At least team hardware. He'll probably make it. It's not award history. It's going to be nuts. Yeah. He probably makes the Hall of Fame, right? Probably. It's guaranteed Hall of Fame. Well, the only reason I say probably is because the NBA was always about how many rings you got. But I feel like in the last 10 years, that has become so much more of a consistent argument. Where it's like you just wonder then when it comes to the Hall of Fame voting, how harshly are people going to look at someone like Russell Westbrook, Like, he was, at his peak, unfucking believable. But at the same time, it used to be how many rings, now it's how many rings on your own. That's fair. If Yao's in, Russ is in. I mean, they were going to put Yao Ming in, though, just for what he meant to the growth of the sport. I think in a more, I don't know, you could argue in a more traditional situation that Yao probably wouldn't have made it because he didn't have the longevity. So, but yeah. Anyway, Russell Westbrook, Hall of Fame. Jersey retirements. Westbrook's number 0 for OKC and Kyle Lowry's 7 with the Toronto Raptors. Got the league meetings. Modify the goaltending rule such that once a ball hits the rim, any player can legally make a play to stop the ball. Also, only 10 players from each conference will be named to the All-Star team. I don't hate that as a goaltending rule. Really, I don't hate that. Hits the rim, then it's fair play. I don't hate that. The draft lottery. Holy shit. Chat will have the 3rd best odds thanks to their deal with Milwaukee. And there are no restrictions on that pick. So chat is in the top 3 as the Oklahoma City Thunder have 5 picks. Not 5, 4, excuse me. I miscounted. But 4 picks in the top 10. The Rockets have 2 in the top 5. The Spurs have 3 between 11 and 14. Jesus. Friggin' Thunder, man. My God. But yeah, chat has the top odds, or not the top odds, but the top odds that we've seen so far between either of our two teams at 3rd, thanks to that deal with Milwaukee, a pick that you almost traded away. It went to a vote as to whether or not you were going to take the deal, if I'm not mistaken. Don't ever come at Tugi for pick ordering if the AI's doing it. I mean, that's real life, though. The Thunder are doing that in real life. It is true that you guys are tied to top odds. Oh, yeah, that's right, 14%. So fair enough. With that, the lottery. Let's get to it. Oh, okay. I was going to say, that makes sense. There was no way someone was moving up at less than a 1% chance. Spurs will have pick number 15. Obviously, there are now more lottery picks as well since we expanded the league. If I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, it's not 16 lottery picks right now because of the play-in round. So, San Antonio picks number 15 and 14 already. This is... Oh, yeah, for sure. All of the... Oh, well, there were these conversations about the picks, and it went from this team to that team. I mean, literally the first 4. It's crazy. We need to be able to do this in NHL. San Antonio, 15, 14, and 12 for the Spurs. Damn. OKC. Hold at 11. 20 lottery picks to their name, but have never had the number 1 pick. That's kind of nuts, isn't it? It's kind of nuts. They have so many picks, man. They have so many picks. You guys do need a superstar, yeah. You do indeed. We both do. I mean, De'Aaron Fox is close, but I'm looking at having to trade him. Unfortunately. Ooh, Jimmy Butler, pending free agent. All right. All right. Remember KD was in the Odin draft? Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. And that's true that they weren't the Thunder. The Hawks have moved into the top 4. All right. Well, we got our first move up. Rockets will hold at 7. Thanks to Brooklyn. It's nuts. I gotta move over here. There's so many damn picks. Whoops, that's right. I can't move over there anymore. Ah, it's fine. We'll leave the drama. Screw it. The Utah Jazz. God, their logo sucks now, too, doesn't it? It's so lazy. Like, it was never, like, the most creative logo in the world, but Jesus, fuck. Like, the simplification of logos in business, sports teams, it's brutal. All right, it'll be the 5th overall pick for Chat's Cincinnati Lions, thanks to Milwaukee. 1 win away from the conference finals, and then a 5th overall pick afterwards? That's not too bad. It's not too bad. Buddy Holly again. Yeah. Shout out to Spotify's randomizer. The Rockets at 4. And the top 3, Thunder, Thunder, Thunder. Well, Atlanta, Thunder, Thunder. OKC at number 3. Thanks to the Clippers. And we'll see who lands at 2. Let's find out. Hawks or Mavericks? The Atlanta Hawks have won the lottery thanks to Sacramento. There's so much fucking movement on these picks. Jesus Christ. Jesus. So I will have a pick at 28. And that looks to be it for me. Is pick number 28. You guys will have the 5th pick and the 22nd. Unless I'm missing one. I don't think I'm missing one. Holy shit. Fucking A, that was nuts. To the draft we go. The 2025 NBA drafts. As the Atlanta Hawks first overall take a dude named Roy Madison. We'll go ahead and sim to the pick since, again, it's not names that we're familiar with. So Chat at 5 will be making the pick. You did not get any trade offers. The dude who was projected first overall in the draft, Dexter Wheeler, is still there. Your scouts have identified Harvey Mitchell, who was projected at 10, as a B-. Taking a look at your team. At point guard, again, Horton Tucker and McBride. Shooting guard is Jaden Hardy. At forward, Kevin Martin Jr. Beauchamp as well. Power forward is probably your biggest need right now. You have Paul Reed. John Collins might be leaving. And at center is Jalen Duren. So You could go for need, but man, at top 5, you probably just want to take whoever you think the best available is. There are a lot of scouts or a lot of players listed at a C+, including Roland Davidson. If we look at who is projected to go early, it has Wheeler at an A+ potential. It has Giacomo Cantanella at an A+ potential. Okan Akiel, I guess it would be, is at an A. A lot of these guys apparently have an A. Wheeler's comparison, starter to All-NBA. I'll look at other comparisons here for the other interesting players. You have Akiel at bench to All-Star. You don't know enough about Lyles to know. Cantanella's All-NBA to bench. Clyde Sims bench to All-NBA. Starter to All-Star for Davidson. And then Harvey Mitchell is your guaranteed starter, but a Pau Gasol comparison. Any disagreements at this stage on Dexter Wheeler? Any disagreements? I mean, even if it's not the biggest position of need, it's the best player available, and you can maneuver out from there and trade someone to get the need. Any disagreements on Wheeler? Going once. Going twice. Dexter Wheeler, drafted 5th overall by the Cincinnati Lions out of Fresno State. Pass anticipation. Some of the best I've ever seen, as evidenced by his best in the country. 4 steals per game at Fresno State. Not bad. All right, we go to the next pick, which is your Cincinnati Lions at 22. Again, you will be making the pick. Based on projections, it's a little bit more difficult here in terms of the grades. There are a couple of dudes listed as a C+ that were projected for the 2nd round, but they're all forwards, with none of them being able to play power forward. None of their potentials are too crazy. There are 4 dudes with really solid potentials. The only guy that's highly scouted, though, is J.J. Jackson, who's a C-, according to your scouts. Bench to All-Star is the deal. I do see people shouting out power forward. If you were to go specifically for a power forward, there are a couple of dudes left who were projected 1st-round picks. None of them were above a C overall. And if we look at the potentials, the B+ is Tom Felder. Everyone else is a B to a B-. So there is Felder, who's bench to All-Star, based off of 67% scouting. Daniel Grant is bench to All-NBA. 7 foot, 21 years old, at power forward. All-Star Terry comes. Is there anybody else just kind of jumping out here? Yeah, Grant is Grant's a big boy. Grant's a big boy at power forward. Anybody else standing out aside from Grant and Felder? Again, it doesn't have to be a power forward, but like we were saying, the C+, and then there is a dude, another point guard that you don't need. But again, your scouts aren't saying that he's that good. So, all right, looks like it's coming down to Grant or Felder. We will throw it to a vote. Will it be Daniel Grant or Tom Felder as your pick at 22nd overall? Again, 67% scouted. It has Felder as bench to All-Star, 22 years old. It has Grant at 59% scouted, 7 foot tall, bench to All-NBA. 4-1 Daniel Grant. So, I mean, yeah, his knees might give out on him by age 22, but that's you could argue he's the more intriguing one, whereas Felder, who's to say? You know? Who is to say? Me personally, I'd probably go with Grant. I'm going to be intrigued in him if I get the available pick. Felder is winning the vote currently. No significant weaknesses. I think it said that for both of them. It did, yeah. Yeah, it did. And it is going to be Tom Felder on his way to Cincinnati from Pacific. Have a Bruins jersey of every position? No. My St. Louis Sound get a trade offer at pick number 28. Something that I'm going to have to consider. Johan Eklund, who I took in the first round last year. Is he still a C potential? He's B+. For Alonzo Peterson, 32nd overall pick last year. He's also a B+. 19 years old and a 76, though. And then Uros Globe was also from last year's draft. Just kind of a filler. So give up Eklund and a first to get Peterson. That's not that bad because Peterson's further ahead and 3 years younger than Eklund. Leonard Miller is a C. No, thank you. Yeah, AJ, actually, I guess I do, now that I think about it. 2029 first rounder, Niang. 2 future first rounders from Boston. Eric McMillan. A- potential at 22, but a 72. Bryant Reed. Just taken in this draft. He's a C+. Bogdanovich, no thank you. Norman Powell, no thank you. Buddy Hield. Drummond. Oh, that's not worth it. 2 first-round picks from the Magic. They also made the... Or no, excuse me, it's a second-round pick. Both of their picks. Grant Williams, Royce O'Neal. Robinson Earl, B-. There are a couple of interesting offers here. Thunder were offering 2 first-round picks next year. I expect theirs to be good, though. So the most intriguing offer is the 2 first-round picks from the Celtics down the line, or pairing Johan Eklund with Alonzo Peterson. Or Eklund with the first to get Alonzo Peterson. 32nd overall last year. Again, he's a B+, as is Eklund, but 3 years younger and 3 points better already. Fuck. Roskalov is a filler player. Or do I just kick the can down the road and get 2 future first-round picks from the Celtics? I'm going to take the deal from Boston. 28th pick for 2 future first-rounders. You never know how high those picks might be. I'm going to take that deal from Boston. They took a dude named Sean Knox II. And that's it. So I won't have a single pick this year. Much like I think you guys didn't last year. But you do take 2 first-rounders. As Wheeler is a 75 at 21 years old. We'll check the potential in a minute. But an 81 and an 80 at the top of the draft. Not too bad. Were there any crazy steals? A lot of, mid-70s talent. Celtics got a 72 overall guy with the pick that I got rid of. Shows him at an A potential. So, don't know if that's actually true or not. Might just be what my scouts had him as. And then, yeah, second round pick, a lot of low 70s. A couple of 74s in there. It's not too bad, depending on the potentials. For the rookies, I got nobody to sign. Dexter Wheeler. A+ potential. Jesus. What a pick for chat. A+ potential at 21 years old. 75 overall, Dexter Wheeler. And then Tom Felder later on, 73 overall at 22 is a B. You guys hit big with that 5th overall pick, Dexter Wheeler. You hit big time. Daniel Grant, 74 overall at 21 was a C potential. So you couldn't really have gone wrong, I guess, with the power forward. You probably made the better pick. But yeah, that 5th overall pick was very, very good for you. The Celtics. Was this Knox guy actually that good? Celtics fucking fleeced me. 2 future first-round picks for a guy with A potential. I can't guarantee my scouts would have known that this dude was that good. But yeah, Celtics traded 2 future first-round picks for that forward. That hurts. But that's the risk I took. I didn't get to look at my scouts. It's the number 1 overall pick looking like. That was Roy Madison, who's got a B, but he is 19 years old and already an 81. So, not bad at all. Not bad at all. So we get to the player options. So John Collins will actually be back with you guys this year. He picked up the option. No reason to not bring on Marjan Beauchamp and Jalen Duren. And for me, I'm going to bring on my 2 guys as well. Giannis, Jason Tatum, Jimmy Butler, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, Kyrie Irving, Julius Randle, Chris Middleton have all opted out of their deals. Will Giannis indeed be a free agent that would actually be willing to listen? In terms of qualifying offers, nothing for either of us to worry about. So the first day of free agency, Giannis, Jason Tatum. This could get interesting, as the Sound can only offer up to $27 million. So, no big name for you guys. The biggest name off of asking price would be like an Aaron Gordon from the looks of it. Yeah, Markkanen's too much of a stretch. Anybody over 40 million, it's not going to go. Sengun's there, though. It's an RFA. Yeah, probably tough to try to steal him away. Chris Middleton is a veteran. Even then, it's a little bit rough. Malcolm Brogdon. Don't know if they'll necessarily be the guy that chat's going to want to try to pick up here. 40-year-old Chris Paul hasn't retired, huh? In terms of younger players, like James Wiseman's out there, but he wants all the money in the world. Patrick Williams is out there at power forward. 23. 80 overall, B potential. I mean, that's kind of the first guy that we look at. You're on the Sound. You're right that I am. Fair enough. So I, at best, could only go for Patrick Williams. Fair enough. I don't know why it switched. I could have sworn I was on your team the last we looked, but it is what it is. Well, then the big question is for chat. Can they afford a big deal? No, you have even less money than I do. How's that for anticlimactic?